Hi everyone, welcome back, and time for the final session of the day. We've got Ed Gribbin, who's the Director of Fit and Sizing at 3D Look, who I'm sure you all know very well. And we're going to be talking fresh tech for good, modern technology combating retail's environmental footprint. As always, please keep your questions coming in throughout. I'm going to ask them to Ed at the end of the presentation, but until then, Ed, it's over to you.
Thanks, David. Really appreciate the opportunity to participate in another fabulous PI event. And this time, unlike some past times, I'm representing 3D Look and really proud to represent a technology company that is doing something good for sustainability. And we'll explain a little bit about that as we move forward. So technology can really be a benefit if harnessed for good. And one of the things I want to focus on first is the carbon footprint of our industry. And it starts with, go back to COVID. So last year, we saw an explosion in online sales and an explosion in online returns. 55% of consumers, this is a Guardian UK statistic, 55% won't shop with a company that doesn't offer free returns. I had a conversation with some folks in the industry last week, and we were joking about this because in the US, nearly everyone offers what they call free shipping. So what they don't really clarify is that free shipping is not necessarily free shipping. It's included in the price that a brand is charging you. Sorry for the delay, folks, and the technical difficulty. What happens when you return clothes? It's funny, we get a lot of shipments here. There's not a day goes by that UPS, FedEx, Amazon aren't delivering things, and they've kind of ingrained us. Amazon, I call it the Amazonification of retail. Amazon has basically trained shoppers, especially in the US, but around the world, to expect free shipping, to expect it to come next day or the same day. And it's forced so many retailers into the same mindset that it's made it too easy almost. And add to that the consumerism that we're all have been experiencing since, I think, for quite some time, but really with the advent of fast fashion, maybe a decade and a half ago, it's become the norm for people to buy something online, not like it, return it, or buy 3 sizes online, return 2. And we all think that these products go right back onto the store shelves. 88% of consumers think that. Unfortunately, that's not the reality. There's a whole cottage industry of companies that are accepting returns on behalf of retailers, reprocessing the product. And sometimes it goes back to that retailer, but often it goes to a discount channel. So off-price retail, TJ Maxx, I think it's TK Maxx in the UK, and a whole host of those stores. And then there's a whole portion of that product that's not deemed fit to repackage and resell. And where does that go? Sometimes it goes to charity, but the reality is that it often ends up in landfills. And 92 million tons of apparel end up in landfills every year. And then 3 out of 5 fast fashion items end up in landfills. So the products that we think are really a bargain, really inexpensive, we can get them with free shipping, wear it once, where does it go? There's been an expose in the United States recently about the people who collect clothing, used clothing, and they expect it to be going to a good use, maybe to underprivileged families, and it doesn't. It actually goes to landfills. So there are a number of charities that have been exposed for that. It's like I live in the city of Philadelphia, where the city of Philadelphia has a robust recycling program that was uncovered last year because they're not recycling anything. Everything is going into a landfill. So that's Philadelphia for you. And this is one of my real pet peeves. I've got 2 when it comes to how our industry is really impacting the environment. One is carbon emissions. 15 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emitted by our industry every year. There's the same output as if we put 3 million cars on the road in 1 year. So the carbon emissions has a huge impact on climate change. No matter where you live in the world, you're experiencing climate change in a devastating way. Here in the US, the forest fires consuming half of the western part of this country. The hurricanes that have stirred up in the extra warm water of the Atlantic this year and caused multiple damage events throughout the South and then into the Northeast. And then the flooding in Germany this year, which was just devastating, the number of people who have died. India, tremendous climate change problems. And then last Thursday night, I happened to have the privilege to attend the US Open tennis tournament and in Flushing Meadows, New York. And at 2 a.m. in the morning, Wednesday or Thursday morning, the fans had to be bussed out of the property to higher ground because of the flooding coming in from Hurricane Ida. Trains were shut down, Ubers couldn't get through, so climate change is real. And now it's finally getting through to consumers who understand that we need to change what we're doing. The fashion industry is the second most polluting industry in the world. We account for about 10% of global carbon emissions and nearly 20% of water pollution. There's only a fraction of the water on this planet that is potable, drinkable water, and 90% of that is used by industry. And Apparel is the third largest user of that water, and we're the second largest polluter of that water. So that's really a challenge. Thankfully, Gen Z is driving change in how we think and how we look at things. They make up about $150 billion in worldwide spend this year, which is about 40%. And 41% say they'd pay for more sustainable fashion. 58% feel that a brand's purpose, values, and mission matter. 73% of consumer groups would change behavior if they think it would reduce impact on the planet. Now, I do want to comment here that in a very recent Retail Me Not survey in the United States, 51% of consumers said they would prefer to wait longer for a shipment to come if it would have a positive impact on the planet. But in the same survey, 80% of consumers said that price is the most important thing when they buy, not impacting the planet. So there are some emerging trends and solutions which we think are all moving us in the right direction. And at 3D Look, we've got our own solutions that we think are helping the situation in terms of sustainability. And I'll talk about those more specifically in a moment, but Recommerce, Patagonia, North Face, Levi's, interestingly, all California companies, all have robust Recommerce programs where they take back pre-owned items. In the case of Patagonia, they'll take them back and repair them for you and send it back to you if you want it. In the case of the others, they'll accept those returns and give you credit towards new purchases. And they do, in fact, recycle that product. Recycling leads right into circular fashion. There's initiatives right now by PVH, Ralph Lauren have both come out and stated to the industry and to their consumers that by 2025, a significant portion of their product will be circular. A huge opportunity there and something we all need to think about. I've spoken in other events about, at some point we'll be 3D printing our clothing, getting a subscription service like iTunes for clothing and fashion, and we'll be able to recycle it when it doesn't fit anymore or we're tired of wearing it. But we're a little bit of ways away from that. Carbon tracking. Companies like Nike have been tracking and reporting on their website their carbon footprint, and by 2030 they will be have zero carbon footprint on this planet throughout their manufacturing, supply chain, logistics, and retail and e-tail operations. Then there's e-commerce personalization. I think that on-demand apparel is really something that can help us from a sustainability standpoint. We talked this morning with Frederica from Son of a Tailor, great brand with on-demand. In the US here, we have Stant, we have Laws of Motion, some great menswear and womenswear brands that are focused on only making what we need and personalizing it for each customer. Stant in particular is an interesting company. They have solved the fit and sizing problem by creating 100 different sizes. And then on those sizes, they make them to order in a factory in Honduras, and they're drop shipped to the person's home within a week, and there's no waste involved. There's a lot of body data analytics going on. In my years with Alvenon, we did a lot of body data analytics, helping brands make the products that would fit consumers better. And then there's also supply chain traceability that really has opened up consumers' eyes and educated them so that we can all think about where and how we purchase our clothing. Which brings me to YourFit. So YourFit is a 3D look application. It's a SaaS service, and it's the only solution on the market today that combines two really critical things when you're shopping for clothing online. One, what size am I? And number two, how is it going to look on me? So YourFit combines a try-look experience with the virtual sizing prediction that's going to give consumers the ability to buy one item that's going to not only look good on them, but fit them well the first time. No secret here, venture capital is pouring money into this field of sustainable technology. 3D Look is a beneficiary of that, as are many companies in our space that are green tech startups. Robert Downey Jr. has launched a venture fund to invest in sustainable technology. G2 Ventures just raised a $500 million fund focused on sustainable technology. So the 3D Look technology has already proven itself to help with reducing the carbon footprint of our industry. It helps people improve conversion rate. It increases the average order value. But the key thing is it reduces 40% of returns. It will increase the lifetime value of that consumer and reduce our impact on the planet. So what do shoppers get? Customers instantly can get size recommendations and see how the clothing looks on them, answering those two critical questions. How will it look on me, and how will it fit me? There's a customized button on the product page for each product that a brand offers. It's accessible from their desktop or their mobile device. The customer basically snaps two photos. If you've heard me speak about my days at IntelliFit or at Alvenon, we used big sophisticated body scanners to get a body scan, create an avatar, measure that avatar, and predict the size for a person. Those technologies were great, but they were very expensive, very cumbersome. Now it's in your hand, in the palm of your hand with 3D Looks technology, your smartphone, whether it's Android or iOS, whether it's old or new, you can prop it up on your coffee mug on a table, or you can get a friend to take your photo, one front and one side photo. We can create this avatar. You can use it to virtually try on any of the products that a brand is offering, and you'll get a size recommendation, and you'll know how well that size is going to fit you. What the brands get on the back end is insight to reduce waste and unlock the supply chain operational efficiency of their brand. So that data can be analyzed, and you'll see exactly what percentage of your customers you're fitting well, what percentage might not be fitting well, Are your grade rules optimized in order to fit the range of people who are shopping at your brand? You know, the one thing that I've discovered over the years is that brands, the last thing they want to do when they get a size recommendation tool or technology, the last thing they want to do is tell someone you don't fit in our size or you don't fit in our brand. And when you think about it, the percentage of consumers that actually use a size prediction tool, the actual group of people, they're the people who are generally hardest to fit. If I know I'm a medium and a 32-30 trouser and, you know, a 40 regular blazer, I can buy with confidence. But if I'm in between sizes or my body shape is a little bit different, that's when I need a tool. So what these brands can unlock with this 3D look behind the scenes data is, how are my customers shaped? You know, am I creating the right scale of sizes? Am I creating the right body shape in my blocks and patterns? Critical information going forward. So the technology, how it works, the technology is patented. It measures fully dressed people, very high precision in seconds. The neural nets behind the scene were trained on a proprietary data set of user-generated photos and manually measured and body scanned human beings. We have a scan lab in our headquarters where we continually scan people and make sure that we have the most robust and diverse database behind the scenes so that we can match up avatars to the bodies of the people who are taking those two photos. Photos are taken on any smartphone, as I mentioned, any background. The person can be fully clothed. Computer vision algorithms then detect the human body under those clothes. Our statistical modeling and 3D matching algorithms accurately create a 3D body model, an avatar. Then we take the landmarks on that avatar and we measure approximately 86 different points of measure. Don't need all of those for the size prediction, but that data becomes very valuable to the brand or retailer after the fact in terms of the secondary points of measure that are used to grade a product or to build a block and to provide the most accurate tech packs in the supply chain. Little case study here, 1822 Denim is an inclusive denim brand in the United States. They were looking for a solution to help decrease their returns. As you can imagine, there are denim is one of the hardest things to fit. Swimwear, bras, and denim are every year the top three most challenging items when people are shopping, whether it's in retail or online. But think about it online, it's even more of a problem to get denim to fit properly. So denim brands typically have a higher return rate. Again, increasing that carbon footprint. But the brand also saw the opportunity that they were collecting, not only to reduce returns, but to improve their patterns. Once they found out that they had a more diverse group of customers shopping their brand, they could add SKUs, they could add sizes, they could add different fits to accommodate them. So the data proved highly impactful. The returns were reduced by 48%. They had a 23% increase in average order value, and their customer satisfaction with using the 3D Look app was 92%. So we're happy to be contributing in cases like 1822 Denim to reducing that carbon footprint and reducing returns and costs for everyone involved in the process. So every time we think about this, I think about this as a consumer, the change starts with me. The change starts with you. We have to think about, as we take technology and use it to improve our environmental impact that we're having on this planet, and join with forward-thinking brands to introduce innovative technologies to save our planet, we have to start right here. My habits, the way I shop, the way you shop, the brands that we support, the brands that we promote. We need to be thinking about this because, as I mentioned before, that those two major impacts of carbon emissions and water, we have a devastating impact on our planet, and we can all do something about it, whether it's 3D look technology or whether it's our buying habits. So with that, I thank you, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thanks, Ed. Yeah, it's quite powerful stuff, really, when you start to consider not just the fact that it's already the second most polluting industry in the world, but also how wasteful it is in some regards, and how much, I guess the positive point in all this is how much room there is for improvement. And I guess these solutions like these are certainly go a bit of the way to addressing that. We do have some questions to go into, and one of the things that we always get asked, especially with fit solutions, because there's a few on the market, is what really sets this apart from some of the others that are out there, and why should people go for 3D look?
So great question. If anyone knows my background, I've been involved in fit and sizing for a very long time. Co-inventor of the IntelliFit body scanner. We collected hundreds of thousands of scans, became president of Alvanon. I founded Alvanon's consulting division, worked with hundreds of brands worldwide. And when I left Alvanon and started Gribbin Strategic, my boutique consultancy, I was approached by probably 12 different companies doing mobile body scanning. And I listened to every one of them. I vetted every one of them. I tried every one of them. And I only chose to become an advisor to one. In 2018, I became an advisor to 3D Look because I was impressed not only with the accuracy of the technology and the ease of use of the technology, but I was impressed with the team of people behind it and the amount of blood, sweat, and tears and money they were willing to invest to continually improve. It's a philosophy of continuous improvement that I kind of associated with. So I was just a kind of a hands-off advisor for the better part of 3 years until about 6 months ago. They asked me to take on a larger role and coach many of the people on our fit and sizing team and advise them and work directly with some of our clients. And I just am really impressed with the people. There are a lot of other great companies out there, and I admire anyone who's in this space who's trying to solve the fit and sizing problem. Whether it's companies like Alvanon that are trying to create the best ready-to-wear fit for a brand and execute it consistently in their supply chain, or whether it's a company like TrueFit who's been doing great things by asking consumers some questions and helping them determine what size they're going to be, or 3D Look, companies that actually collect real body data and use it not only to help the consumer see what's going to fit them, but see how it looks on them, and then use the back-end data to continuously improve that brand's ability to fit more people.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and certainly your opinion is very well respected when it comes to all things fit and sizing. So thank you for that. How you did touch on this actually. One of the questions was, how does the technology help reduce unsold stock and waste? But could you touch on that a little bit more, perhaps?
Sure. So if you think about it, you know, brands, when they have unsold stock, they put it on sale. Right now, we're seeing end of summer sales on all the summer merchandise. If I can see that product and try it on virtually, I'm going to have a much better chance of converting and buying that product than if I, at this point in the year, I'm not interested in summer merchandise. But if someone shows me online a great deal, I might say, well, I could use that. I'll buy that. But that try look portion of our Your Fit application, I think, is one of the things that brands can utilize to move unsold stock. Now, if it's not available in my size, that's a whole different problem. But I think it's the virtual try on part of our technology that can be a real help for brands that want to sell stock that is left over at the end of a season or stock that they purchased in excess. And that's, besides the carbon footprint and the water, that overproduction of a product that we do in mass production. That's one of the things that's broken about our business models today that will change going forward. And it'll be driven more by Gen Z consumers than by anyone else, but by millennials' children as well. And each future generation, as we see climate change having devastating impacts on our planet, it's going to really impact people's buying habits. And we're going to buy smarter and less. And we won't be in this situation where brands are stuck with so much unsold merchandise, hopefully.
Well, hopefully. It's interesting because we talk a good game, but there's still, we still do overproduce and market these goods as well at the sort of same levels that we were doing before. And, there's a clear correlation between marketing and consumerism. This is, so until we sort of want to stop that, I'm not sure how much it will change. I do agree that opinions are changing for sure. It's interesting about the stock and actually how the technology can help you sell those sort of last few remaining items, because I guess one of the things that you get when you're looking through sales is, okay, well, these are all the things that are available. Which one of them fit me? And how would this look on me? And I think if you did have more data and a more connected experience with that part of your online shopping experience, then it would probably help a lot more. So I certainly agree with you on that. We have a couple minutes left, so I just want to get through to this last question, which is, how do we tackle the issue of privacy when it comes to virtual experiences? Because this is also one that we get asked about so much. So I thought it'd be good to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, that's a great question. That's something that really I've been focused on for the better part of 20 years. When we started body scanning people at Intellifit, we developed a very robust privacy policy in terms of how we would use that data. Now, in those days, we weren't taking pictures of anybody. It was a different type of body scanner that created a point cloud that was anonymous to begin with. But we found that with the Try Look feature that we have at 3D Look, people were not satisfied with seeing clothing on a generic avatar that might be their same measurements. So there are some technologies out there that say, plug in your body measurements and we'll make an avatar and you can try clothing on and get a really, a good idea of what's going to look good on you. And consumers don't like that. They want to see the clothing on themselves. So when you take a front photo of yourself, we have figured out a way to segment the clothing that you're wearing off the body and try on the product that you've clicked on from that retailer. As soon as you close that photo is deleted. So we make our privacy policy very clear. If you're only using it for size prediction, same thing. You take the two photos, we create that avatar. The photos are immediately deleted, and your data is anonymized and aggregated in our back-end database to help the brand. So the brand doesn't know that it's you. They know how many people are age 31, live in the UK, and these are their body measurements, and these are the sizes that they equate to. So again, the back-end data is really, really helpful, but it's all anonymized and aggregated so that there are no privacy issues. And by the way, we comply with all of the global privacy standardization tools, the EU in particular. So, and our privacy policy is available right on our website.